Thank you, everybody, for being here this evening. We are very grateful to be able to welcome you all. This is our first mixer back since COVID has stopped those events. So we're really glad to be back, and we're really glad to be able to be here at Boulder Creek. This is one of our favorites. It's usually a very well-attended mixer, and of course it is. And so we're glad to have all of you, and we look forward to our special guest tonight. First of all, I would like to thank Boulder Creek and Ed. I don't know, I haven't seen Ed pop back out, but I want to make sure that Ed gets a huge round of applause and his staff. They've done a fabulous job. And so Andy Shaper, the golf pro and also the director here at this location, as well as the municipal course across the way. We're really grateful to have Andy. Thank you so much. You have got a lot of longevity. We appreciate you. I'd like to start with our wonderful council members. And Mayor, would you like to come forward and say a few words before we get started? Mayor McManus.
Well, one, I want to thank Jill for putting this together. She always does a great job getting it done. Mr. Shaper, again, great work on the way this place looks. You know, this is for welcoming Taylour Tedder as our new city manager. We went through a long process to do that. I think Mr. Tedder's background is going to be very beneficial for Boulder City. He recognizes what it means to come into a community like this and look for possibilities, especially for the business community, while not upsetting the apple cart here in Boulder City. So looking at the background, again, I think Mr. Tedder stood out beyond the others. I certainly look forward to working with him, and I think he is going to be good for the business community here in Boulder City. So with that, Jill, I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. I echo the mayor's statements. I truly do believe he's going to be great for the business community and all of our residents. He seems to have a wonderful way of balancing and making sure that he's hitting all the needs. So I'm excited I'm looking forward to it. So let's keep going with our amazing VIPs. Miss Claudia, we love Miss Claudia. Thank you very much for being here tonight. Councilwoman Bridges. And we also have our amazing Sherry. Thank you very much, Councilwoman Jorgensen. We're glad to have you. Without further ado, I think we all are very much looking forward to hearing from Taylour. We're excited to have him here. We want to make sure that we welcome him here. I think that it's a great opportunity for us to stay in communication with our city leaders. We've always had that great opportunity with the leadership as far as council, and so we want to make sure that you know that you have that opportunity as well with our city manager. It's an important position, and it's important for you to get to know him and for him to understand and know you. So thank you very much for being here, Taylour. We're looking forward to hearing this.
Thank you so much, Jill. That was very nice of you, and thank you, Mayor, for your comments. Can everyone hear me? Yeah, okay. So I've been asked to talk a little bit about my background. So before Boulder City, I was the assistant city manager for the city of Leavenworth, which is in the Kansas City area, and a lot of people have been telling me a joke that most people don't escape from Leavenworth. So I did, and here I am. So, but in my role there, I really focused a lot on economic development and working with our small business community. And I was responsible for several things that actually Rafi does here, a small business development grant, very similar to the RDA grant here, where businesses were able to make improvements to their properties, whether it was improving the facade or signage, things of that nature. But I was there for about 5.5 years, and originally when I started, there was no link to the business community, and people didn't know who to talk to or who can answer their questions, things of that nature. And so one of the things that I really think is a big thing to focus on is that relationship building. So please feel free to contact me or our economic development staff anytime, because a question could be easily answered, and we can definitely help any way that we can. When I first started, there was a low interest loan fund that I was tasked with staffing that board, and they had made, I think, 3 loans in 4 years. And when I left, we had a portfolio of over $2 million of loans, and it was all funded by state tax credits, so it was no city money, which was about 100 loans. So it really injected a lot of funds into the community, and I'm still getting my footing here, learning the Nevada law. But if there was any kind of programs like that, I would definitely look into how we could implement those. But another part of my role there, I also supervised our Convention and Visitors Bureau, so I do understand the importance of tourism here in this community. Whether that's the day trips from people in Las Vegas to other types of tourism, those unique experiences that people can find. So I definitely am cognizant of how that definitely influences the economy here. Some other things. So I knew that the city of Boulder City had a wonderful staff just from meeting them when I had lunch with them at my final in-person interview, and reading all of the different work products that they do, especially our finance department. They put out some wonderful informational reports and things of that nature. But actually being here and witnessing it, working with them, they're really, truly those subject matter experts, and they do a wonderful job safeguarding the city's funds and doing what's best for the community. So thank you all that are here. It's already been such a pleasure working with you. So I'm just so happy to be here and to have such a great team. We're going to be able to accomplish all of the council's goals and more. So I'm really excited for that. So economic development here in Boulder City, over the past 3 years, Michael Mays and Rafi Festekjin, I got it right. They've done a lot of things that have, I think, really improved both communications and just resources to the businesses. They created an office and retail vacancy report so that they can find different spaces available for people when they're in need of space, and kind of creating that one-stop shop so people have that actual point of contact for things that they need. So my vision would be to further build on that, especially with our online presence, because people really need access to City Hall at all times. I've really enjoyed getting to know Jill at the Chamber. They were able to work with the city to develop a book on getting a business started. So for those people that are just starting out, they're able to understand what kind of permits they need or the different requirements. Have finally found a house, so that's very exciting for my wife and I. And so she's really looking forward to getting out here. But we're really looking forward to being active in the community and participating in the different community events and definitely being accessible. So I'm always, as Jill said, available to be reached through a bunch of different ways, but you're always welcome to stop by. My schedule is lightening up a little after all of the different initial meetings of community members, so I am looking forward to getting to know each of you. Some other general city projects that we're working on, of course, everyone knows that water resources are a tremendous issue here in the region, and with the reminder of Lake Mead just around the corner, looking at ways to improve our wastewater treatment plant, utilizing some of that water for our golf courses is going to be a really big project that we'll be working on hopefully soon. Just looking at ways to conserve water as well on the city side. Keegan's been working on that already with changing out some of the grass for more drought-tolerant grasses and things of that nature. So that's exciting to me. Historic preservation is also something that I really enjoyed working on in my previous role. So Leavenworth was the first city in Kansas incorporated in 1854. So we had a lot of historic properties, and you could look at a photo and see which buildings were still there from the 1800s, and it was the majority of them. And so the thing that I'm really excited about here is also historic preservation. So the city created an ad hoc committee to kind of evaluate some changes to the city code to help promote that. So essentially protecting and enhancing the city's attractiveness to visitors and supporting the economy. So I am looking forward to helping out with that as well. And of course, we're continuing to address the pandemic. Our fire department has just done a wonderful job. Chief Gray's here, and they're continuing to do testing at the fire station, getting ready to set up a clinic at the senior center for those who are immunocompromised for a third vaccine dose and things of that nature. So they've done a wonderful job on that, and so I'm just so excited to be here as well. Next month, we're starting the capital improvement plan at Boulder City. So we'll be looking at projects for the future. The ARPA funds, so the city received its first allocation, which was about, I think, just under $11 million last month. And we're currently evaluating different projects. It can be used for infrastructure. It can be used for support to businesses and community partner organizations. It can be used for a lot of different things, revenue losses, but really a lot of the projects will benefit Boulder City. We'll take the final fine-tuned plan to the council for adoption, and then we'll move forward on it. There's also, so you had mentioned some of those other pots of money. So I actually had a meeting today with a gentleman from the governor's office on broadband. And so there's even more funding for all of these other different pieces. So it's going to be really exciting because this is kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity injection of money into the community. Well, thank you, everyone. I'm really happy to be here and look forward to getting to know all of you. And thanks for having me. So, thank you.